If you're thinking about starting a web design agency, then it can be hard to know where to start and what you need to get your new business off the ground. There can be so much to do, it can feel overwhelming. Well, in this video, I'm going to break it down into 5 simple steps you can take to get your fledgling business up and running. Plus, if you make it all the way to the end, I've got a bonus tip for you. Hi, thanks for joining. If you're new to this channel, I'm Rich Dean, a web designer and developer, former web agency owner, and author of the book series Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency. My goal is to help anyone looking to start, grow, and sell an agency to save time, earn more money, avoid the common mistakes and pitfalls, and build a thriving and valuable business. Okay, so on to the main topic, starting with number 1, get some work under your belt. This might seem like the most obvious, but having some previous projects to show your capabilities can be one of the hardest parts of starting a new business. Clients will want to work with you if they like the work you've done for other people. But how do you win your first clients if you haven't got any work to show? This can be a tough one, but there are plenty of ways you can go about this. Now, I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you're probably already a web designer or developer. If that's the case, then there are ways you can start to build a portfolio, even if you're still employed and haven't started your web design agency yet. You could offer to create websites for friends or family, or for people that you already know in your network. So reach out to them and offer to give their websites an overhaul. Do some research and prepare some insights into why their current websites aren't working and why they need a new one. If you can charge for this, then great, but you don't have to. In fact, offering to do free or pro bono work is another great way to get some projects under your belt. Are there any local charities or good causes that you could work with for free? I know working for free probably won't be what you want to do long term, but if you just need to get a few projects in your portfolio so you can start to win proper paid clients, then think of this as an investment. And in this case, you also get to work with some good causes. Or you could create some concept projects. These are projects for real companies, but they're not actual real projects. They're more like ways for you to showcase your ideas and creativity. Just be sure to make it clear that they're not real projects, they're just concepts. Number 2, create a good work setup. Where you work is just as important as how you work. So this means investing in a good work setup. So think about your computer, your desk, your chair, and a space for you to work that is both healthy and conducive to doing good work. If you're going to be running a business, then this means making sure you have a proper office setup. Where this is entirely up to you though. The most obvious choice nowadays is working from home. And in fact, home working has made starting businesses like web agencies much easier than it used to be. But if you're going to work from home, you need to make sure you have a proper space to do this. Being perched at the kitchen table or hunched on the sofa when you have kids or pets running around is not going to be healthy or a way for you to do your best work. You need a dedicated space where you can work healthily. It doesn't need to cost a fortune, and you can always upgrade as your business grows, but the following are pretty much essential. A good desk that can accommodate all your equipment at the right height. A good chair that supports your back and with your desk allows you to work comfortably, and a good computer setup. So this could be a traditional tower, but you'll also probably be going to client meetings. So a good laptop combined with a second monitor can also be a great setup. You may already have these things, in which case great. But if not, do some research and make sure you have these ready for when you start. You could also rent an office space, especially if working from home isn't practical. This also isn't as expensive as it used to be, and there are plenty of low-cost options out there. Just Google shared office space in your area and see what comes up. Shared office spaces are also great for networking and meeting potential clients and other contacts. Okay, just before we go any further though, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're a fairly new channel, so it really help us out if we can get those all-important likes and subscribes up. It won't cost you a thing and it won't take you a second. Okay, back to the main topic. Number 3, register your business. Okay, so this part can feel off-putting or overwhelming, plus it's also not the most exciting. But when you start a new business of any kind, you'll need to register it so that the proper authorities are aware of it and so that you're all set up to pay the proper taxes. Now, there are many ways that you can set up a business, too many for this video, and this is the part that probably most people find confusing. Here in the UK, probably the 2 most common ones are setting up as a sole trader or setting up as a limited company. Probably the simplest way to explain the differences is that setting up as a sole trader basically means that you work as yourself and you are your business. Whereas a limited company, you create the business as a separate legal entity to you. Again, that's just a very simple way of describing it. There's a lot more to it, so spend some time doing some proper research and find a setup that's right for you. I do talk about this in book one of my book series Start, but there are plenty of other online resources that can also help. You could also speak to other people who run their own businesses and find out what setup worked for them. Or speak to a proper accountant, as they will have lots of experience in helping other people with this. The good news is that you can change your setup later on. So even if you start out as, say, a sole trader, you can still change to a limited company or another setup later. Number 4, create your brand or make a start. If you're going to start a web design agency, then you'll need a good company name and brand so that people can remember you. Now, branding is also a big topic, and creating a full brand system is not easy. In fact, it can take a lot of time and it can cover many elements. The good news is that you don't need to have everything done for when you start. In fact, I would actually argue that you shouldn't have everything done. Creating a whole brand system will be time consuming, and that's time that you could be spending on more important things like just getting your business out there and getting started. Plus, most brands grow and evolve over time as your business grows, so you won't know exactly how your brand will need to be right at the start. But you will need the basics, so think a company name, maybe a logo and some basic colours and typefaces to go with it, a simple portfolio website to showcase your work, and some business cards for networking events. Yes, people do still use business cards. Don't overthink it though. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need something to get your new agency out there, and you can improve it as your business grows. Number 5, just get started. Okay, so this might sound like another obvious one, but by far the most important step in starting a new web agency or any business is to just get started. It sounds so obvious, and yet so many people don't do this. They dream of starting a new business. They tell themselves and others that they're going to do it. They start to imagine what life will be like once they're their own boss. But then, for whatever reason, they never do it. Maybe it's just that they procrastinate. Maybe they become too overwhelmed by the whole process. Or maybe there's just always something else that gets in the way. But that's a tragedy. It means that there are so many potentially amazing businesses that never come into existence. And it means so many people never realize their dreams and reach their full potential. The good news is that this is also the easiest part. You just need to take action. And it doesn't matter what action that is, whether it's brainstorming a new name for your business or spending an hour finding out how to register it. If you're taking action, it means you're already on the way to getting your business started. In fact, the mere fact that you're watching this video means that you're already taking action, and this means you're also already way ahead of all those other dreamers who never get started. So well done for taking a positive step towards your new web design agency. Okay, now for that bonus tip. Save up a financial buffer. Everything is easier and less pressured if you have money in the bank to fall back on. In fact, one of the biggest things that puts many people off starting a business in the first place is the fear that they might not be able to pay their bills if they don't find any work. That is sensible. So having a financial buffer, which is basically a savings pot in place, is the best way to protect yourself against this. It gives you time to change course or try different ideas if things don't go to plan straight away. Plus, having money in the bank means you can absorb any unexpected costs. Perhaps you'll need to pay for an unexpected networking event so you can meet new clients. Or perhaps your computer is too slow, so you want to upgrade it so you can get more work done. This is exactly what I did when I started my web design agency. Fortunately, I was able to find work right from the start, so I never ended up using it, but having money in the bank to fall back on took the pressure off. It also meant that I could make decisions based on what was right for me and my business, and not just about needing money. How much money you'll need will be down to you, but I would recommend enough to be able to pay your bills for at least 3 months, maybe more if you can stretch to it. It might not be easy, but it will be well worth it. Okay, so hopefully you've seen that starting a web design agency doesn't need to be overwhelming. These are just 5 essential things that you can do to get your business off the ground. There are more if you want a really great start, so why not check out my other video here. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you've enjoyed it, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. This will really help us to grow the channel so that we can carry on making helpful content just like this. And if you'd like more tips and insights for how to get your agency off the ground, check out my book series, Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency, which you can buy from Amazon now, and I'll share a link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.